G'day, I'm Floyd Kennedy. That's Floyd with 2 L's in case you're wondering. And I am so honoured and delighted to be part of Threshold 2021. I'm going to crack on with a wee song for you. It's called the Singing Beetle. One day I was driving along in my car, listening to Radio 1. The music wasn't my cup of tea, so I turned over to Radio 3, hoping to find a symphony to set my blues on the run. And as I drove along in my car, listening to Radio 3, a man was describing creatures so queer you'd never imagine in many a year. And as his words penetrated my ear, I heard him describing someone like me. Now there are insects that squeak, there are beetles that squawk, spiders whose eyes wave around on a stalk. There are bright little spark bugs, glow-in-the-dark bugs, smilingly mean bugs, highly unclean bugs, or creatures you'd sooner not see on your fork. But there's one little bug called the Ironclad Beetle, a creature of habit so dull and so small. If you saw it, you'd simply ignore it. You wouldn't record it or snap it or draw it. No likes and no followers to adore it. And the experts decreed she had no voice at all. What? But in total defiance of the bright minds of science, the Ironclad Beetle sings out loud and clear. A sweet little song, not too loud, not too long. If nobody heard, was that so absurd? She sings for herself, not for anyone else. All alone on one day of each year. Oh yes, on one day each year, she will sing without fear. You may jest, you may jeer, she just doesn't care. For she sings for herself, not for anyone else. And if you don't care to hear, she won't shed a tear. Now it just so happens that I sing Beetle. Here it comes. Oh yes, on one day each year, she will sing without fear. You may jest, you may jeer, she just doesn't care. For she sings for herself, not for anyone else. And if you'd really like to hear, you'll have to wait until next year. And now, a wee poem. I call it Not a Word of a Lie. What to say? Who to say it to? Why say it? When to say it? Where? Oh yes, that's right. There is no where there. There is only here, dear. The message is clear, dear. Where you are is there now. Well then, when? Oh, I said that before. I guess the raven knew the score. Because if not now, or even then, all that's left is nevermore. There is a thread, a fine and fragile thread that holds my heart, that winds around my heart, connects it to a chamber in my skull. In my heart there is a chamber, a sweet room with walls of softness. There was a moment when I thought, this could go on forever. And then I thought I'd cry. And then I thought, what good would that do? so I didn't do that. Who said what, and why wouldn't you? Has anything been done about it? What can I be doing with this? Let the sky fall, let the rain fall, let it call out the rain, downhill all the way. Is this too fast for you? Too many questions? Never stop asking questions. When you don't ask questions, it's because you think you know all the answers. I could write a book at this rate. A whole book full of nothing. The book of nothing. I'd call it Post-Apocalyptic Me, a creation myth at the end of the rainbow. Or the pandemic, if you prefer. I think it's time for another song, don't you? The sky is weeping, tears not rain are pouring down, drowning out the songs we sang before. The wind is sweeping, clutching leaves that will not fall, but hold on fast to make it last, to last the way it was before. The dark is creeping, slowly draining hope and patience, leaving no place for perseverance, values held before. The sun is peeping high above beyond the storm, waiting for the earth to turn, to face what went before. The future's keeping all our dreams of better days, to give us time to change our ways, time to leave what went before. This time is reaping what we sowed, and now we know we owe it to ourselves to own what went before. The earth's housekeeping bill is due, payment in lieu will not restore what she's been through, all the damage done before. The day is sleeping, calmly breathing through the storm, waiting for whatever lies in store. I call this song Merry-Go-Round, subtitle A Lullaby for a Stoical Baby. Welcome to the playground, I'm so glad you're here. This world that you've arrived in might not be here next year, but there's lots to entertain you as long as it lasts. Take a turn on all the rides before they slip into the past. The swings will take you from low to high, get you accustomed to earth and sky. On the climbing frame you can just hang around, right way up or upside down. The slippery slide looks scary at first, but once you come down it, you'll know that the worst thing about it is doing it over and over, over and over and over again, while the seesaw is more of the same. Repetition is the name of the game, forwards and backwards and side to side, in and out just like the tide. But if you're more of the circular kind and the merry-go-round you just can't find, Don't worry, don't panic, don't fret. Here's one thing you mustn't forget. This playground of life where you've come to stay is the merry-go-round of day after week after month after year after day after week after month after year. But there's nothing to fear. You just need to hear these words I'm gonna whisper in your cute little ear. Is there a dog in here? Live in the moment, that's all we've got. Enjoy what's around you. The past will confound you, the future astound you. It's either what you hope for or it's not. What's gone won't be changed, though it might be forgotten. You can't exchange it or even rearrange it. What's to come is no less than a gift that you can't guess. It's either what you hope for or it's not. So make the most of what you've got. Stay in here and now. You're only meant to be here till your final bow. That tightrope that you're walking is supporting you, not taunting you. Whether it's fun or terrifying, if you believe you're really flying. Use your toes to get a grip, to remind you if you slip, not to hold on too tightly. Don't be frightened to let go. Your future is already here, and it's either what you hope for or it's not. So make the most of what you've got. Stay in the here and now. You're only meant to be here until your final bow. Woo! That tightrope that you're walking is supporting you, not talking you. Whether it's fun or terrifying, if you believe you're really flying. Use your toes to get a grip, to remind you if you slip, not to hold on too tightly. Don't be frightened to let go. It's a paradox of existence, and there's no point in resistance, 'cause your future is already here, and it's either what you hope for or it's not. Now, I'm going to finish off with a poem, for which I need my hat and my specs. And it's called What Time Is It? I am haunted by my present. It ghosts me. The past is a place that keeps me from disappearing into non-existence. We are always in the future. Everything we see or hear has already occurred. To others, we're always in the past. No one is an island, but we are all alone nevertheless. And somewhere, always out of reach, because of course it's in the fourth dimension, there is an antimatter factory. That's where clocks are made, defining that which doesn't matter. They tick and click each second into and out of existence in a single instant. Here in our earthly 3 dimensions, we clutch at moments, hours, years, tripping unknowingly through the seconds, failing to celebrate each eventuality even as it dawns into being and dissolves. Now, if I were a fly, living at speeds unimaginable, I would capture those seconds. I would wonder at the sluggishness of humanity, blundering aimlessly round and round, always ignorant of the wonder the magnificence of each unending, momentous, instantiated blending of time, space, and what really matters. Stay safe.